Hello, hello, fellow comic book community. Sorry, our guest is late, so it's me and Otaku. Wait. We do have a guest. So, Otaku Yang, go ahead and quickly introduce yourself because we do have people from other places. No, we don't. Okay, that's all right. We are on Jeff's channel.
Well, yeah, I think most people are aware. So, we have a special guest. We had a special guest planned, but he's a little late. He might not show up. Maybe something came up. So, we had another co-host who was going to join us for the chat, but now we're going to probably just focus our time on him rather than our scheduled guest, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're going to introduce him now. There he is.
Sorry,
Our pal from down under.
there you go. Hey guys, I'm SimpleSim.
At least change the color of your hair, man.
What happened to your hair?
What's happening?
Don't you get in trouble with your wife with that color?
She's cool with it. I told her what all the K-pop stars are doing.
Well, yeah. Thanks, Simon, for First off, thanks for your time. And I know we were all going to kind of interview and get to know Sean, but again, we're just waiting for him. He still may pop in.
We can still talk about Sean in the beginning and what's so great about his channel, because I'm sure you guys have his links and stuff in the description, right?
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean,
let's talk
why don't you start? What's your impression of his?
I've been following Slim for a long time. I can't actually remember how I found. If I had to guess, it might have been a channel that Greyman, because I found a lot of channels through Greyman. I found NammaN through Greyman. I'm not sure if Slim was one of those people, but Slim and me always came up in a similar sort of time. So we had around the same subs. We both hit 1,000 subs within like a week of each other. And the thing I love about Slim's channel is it's a variety channel, and I love that. You might not always want to watch stuff about comic books, but he does everything. He does everything that I love: comic books, toys, collectibles, and food. My God. My favorite thing I used to do is it Sunday Fam Day? So it'd be Monday here. I used to love making dinner because I hated watching it without dinner. I used to watch it sometimes. I'm like, oh man, I'm so hungry. I got to eat. So then I would actually prepare dinner and then watch Slim's Sunday Fam Day while eating my dinner. That was my favorite thing to do for a while on a Monday here.
All right, Slim too. Let me go ahead and check on the chat room people real quick so that we haven't ignored those guys. Hey, GT Kid Comics, thanks for popping in very early. There's K-pop. She's really tired, but have a rest. She's eating something right now. Have a rest. Something wrong. Oh, you want something other day? I need to send it to you. John Boys need to send it to you. But anyway, I'll send them the address, or I will send it to you. Either way. Ryan Odegawa, how are you, sir?
Slim just messaged. He's stuck at work.
Oh, okay. So it's all about you now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just going back to Sean or Slim. What I appreciate about his...
Hold on, Otaku, let me finish. Joe, how are you? And then we got... Okay, Strange Dog, thank you for coming by. Hey, Jackson. Hello, Jerry, how are you? Jitterbug.
What's up, Jerry?
So Jerry Jitterbug says Sean was one of my first subscribers, so cool.
Yeah, sorry he can't join tonight. He's caught up with work, which is fine.
All right. Let's talk about Slim.
Yeah, what I appreciate about Sean is like Simon said, he's got a lot of different stuff that he just showcases who he is, and it's really authentic and genuine. He's got a great comic book collection, but he's also good into like Porsche Hot Wheels. He specifically collects like Porsche Hot Wheels. So that was, I kind of wanted to ask him a lot about why Porsche and all that. But yeah, the food, his family time, and the amazing places he goes on the weekends is just really fun to watch, and appreciate him.
If you've been following him for years, like I have, you've watched his kids grow up too. Like,
oh yeah.
His oldest one's huge now. They were so tiny in the beginning.
Wait, one of them is Simon, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I think the younger one, I think, is Simon, and then Cedric.
Slim.
Cedric is the other one. Oh,
sorry guys, I'm still at work.
No worries, man.
No worries.
I can't hear you.
Okay, yeah, no worries. We got Simon filling in for you. So
I'm Simple Slim.
Simple Slim. Don't worry about it. You'll be okay.
No. Can you hear me or no?
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Yes. So, let me go ahead.
With my scrub, I can't.
So there's a Clayman. He's cosplaying with us now.
Am I mute?
No, you're good.
You're good. We can hear you. So say hi to chat. Say hi to Jerry. Say hi, Jerry.
I can't hear you guys. I don't know why.
We'll get you next time.
I got stuck at work. There's a lot of emergency cases.
Okay. Yeah.
No problem.
That's more important than this.
Yeah. Your work is more important than this.
I can't hear you guys. I don't know why. The mic is okay, right? Or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mic is okay. I mean, we didn't mute you. Just mute it now. Can you hear?
Maybe message him that it's okay. He can go back to work.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't start earlier because they had emergency cases. 4 of them that came in.
Yeah.
ER. So they told me to stay. So I got stuck. Hi. I can't hear what you guys are talking about.
Well, yeah. Right now you're okay. So I sent you IG message. I sent you IG message.
He can't hear us.
You can type the message now, man, and then bring it up on the screen instead of shops coming up there.
Huh?
I can't hear you guys for some reason.
Type the message now, man, to tell him we'll reschedule. Then you put it up on the screen, then he'll see it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Big brain.
Let me see if I can do that. Share screen.
No, you don't need to share the screen. You just write the comment.
I can't hear you guys. But yeah, this is our scrub. It's all gray. It's cheesy gray scrubs, but I got this blue other scrub on. Yeah, it's a busy day. I've been here since 11 a.m. So
such a slow typer, NammaN. There we go.
If I get home, I'm sure it'd be a lot better for me to hear you guys because I can't hear you guys. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Can you see the message?
Okay. All right. So I'll be off at 10, but I don't get home probably till 11. It takes me an hour to get home.
Oh, cool. We can tag.
So it takes me an hour to get to work. Takes me an hour to get home. Yeah. Maybe we can try this tomorrow. Tomorrow night should be okay.
Yeah.
Unless
I think emails.
Unless you guys got plans. Send me a link tomorrow, then I'll stop by.
Okay. You could be oh gosh, I'm a horrible typer here. You
for some reason I can't hear what you guys are talking about. I got a few minutes left. Yeah, I gotta head back to work.
You You could be. Oh shoot! I gotta hide my.
I can't see. I can't see what I'm on my phone, so I can't really see the. Oh, bye. All right. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.
All
I'm
right.
still in the OR unit here.
You can't even
It's
see our
busy
text.
You can't even see us?
You can't even see our text. You just said.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Bye, Lisa.
Young, I think you could put him backstage now.
Say hi.
Hi.
They're my coworkers.
Oh, hi.
It's a live stream.
Oh.
See ya. They're going home.
Okay, that's why they're happy.
So I gotta go back. I leave at 10 p.m. here.
Say bye.
All right. I'll see you guys. Take it easy. Bye.
And for my screen time, I've only got 40 minutes left, guys. What do you want to know?
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna focus on Simon now.
Simon is the star now.
Look forward to the thumbnail change. The sleeves are about to get a whole lot better looking.
So let's start. For those of you who don't watch Simon or keep up with his channel, Simon, why don't you just introduce yourself? And I mean, most of the people in the chat know you, but go ahead and just introduce yourself for people maybe watching on the rewind.
Well, I'm going to change my name back to SimpleSimon. So I am SimpleSimon.
SimpleSimon.
I was on the this AAPI month last year with these guys. The year before, I wasn't invited because I wasn't Asian American.
He's still
Asian Australian. But last year, these guys decided that it counted. So if you guys don't watch my videos, I do a lot of comic book stuff. I do toys. I do a lot of vlogs where I go out to different stores and shops. I do convention videos. I do a lot of stuff. So
interview cosplayers.
I got that. Those videos probably do the best. So but yes, all kinds of stuff. But the vlogs are really starting to be my thing that I do now. I just kind of got to a point where because obviously I'm a smaller channel still, I would say, but I used to always say all I want, I'd be happy because subs are cool, but I'd rather people watch my videos than have subs. There's a lot of channels that have like lots of subs, but they still get the low views. I would rather have high views and low subs, right? So yeah, I feel like my channel's now gone to a point where I'm kind of happy with the viewership, and it's not big at all, but I'm happy with it. But the vlogs have been helping a lot with that.
Is it 100 subs at least? I mean, views. 100 views.
Yeah. So I always used to say, look, if I can just get an average of 100 views a video, I'd be happy. And I feel like I'm definitely in that spot now. So my vlogs are doing well. And now, so my viewership used to always be America. So if you look at, you can look at the analytics and tells you what countries are watching you the most. It was always the US, and then Australia would kind of be second or even third sometimes. And now Australia are like by far.
Oh, really? Oh,
when I go to events now, like toy fairs, comic fairs, people recognize me and they come up and say hi. When I go to conventions, people come up and ask me to take a photo with me, and I'm like, wow. That's weird, but okay.
Celebrity, nice.
Australian celebrity.
It's weird though, because a lot of the at the big cons, a lot of the people recognize me. Like they're there with their kids and stuff. I'm like, oh, your kids shouldn't be watching my channel. Not that it's terrible, but
Well, your show's kid friendly
to a degree, yeah. But I also never wanted to be like when I first started YouTube. I used to swear a lot more. I got to a point where it was one of my friends' son watches my channel, and back then he would have been like, I think he's about 12 now, so he would have been like 7 when he started watching my channel. Mm-hmm. So that's when I started. I used to make a lot of Pokemon content for him and stuff like that. And I kind of started being a little bit more chill on the swearing. I tried to be, but now if it's a casual.
You do show some of those books where you have to put some blue tapes on the.
I don't show a lot of those books. I don't show a lot of it. I used to show a lot more of them, but not really. No, not blue tape. I would prefer the lady to be clothed on the cover. Yeah. So there's a little bit more to the imagination. So.
I
So
get you.
just get people caught up. I know there's been some transitions in your life recently, and just what's been new. What's new since we last talked to you?
Okay, well, I've moved house, so my background's different than the last time I was on here. My comic shop has also moved. So for those who watch my channel, I do a lot of videos at my comic shop, at Big City Comics, and he recently he closed the doors to the shop, but he's continuing his business as like an online business plus like a what's it called? Like you can go. He just doesn't have a shop you can just walk into, but
Yeah,
you
it's
can
like storage.
it's like an appointment. Yeah, it's like an appointment kind of thing set up. But he had free comic book day, kind of. So he wanted to end like he wanted his final week to be free comic book day because he actually opened his shop. He opened his business on free comic book day, however many years ago. So because he was getting kicked out of the building, he was like, "Can you wait one extra week so I can do free comic book day?" And they said, "No." So
Wow.
he was pretty shattered about that. That's why I just did my free comic book day video. I went to a different shop, and the shop I went to, they were also closing down, but they got to do their final weekend on free comic book day. So they got given the okay to do free comic book day. So,
Those are two sad stories that you were doing. You were doing sad stories after another sad story on those two videos.
So, but look, it's cool that Mark's still going to be around, and we did our first video in the storage locker just this week, and it's definitely different. I feel no. So not the vlog. We did our first episode where we just talked. So the vlog was a bit different. Obviously, that was like following the journey of moving stores. But we did our first episode where we just talked in the storage unit, and it was definitely a different experience.
Yeah, that storage thing, is that safe? I mean, you're stacking the storage there.
As in yeah, a lot of people commented on the shelves. It seems pretty sturdy. But I mean, we don't get earthquakes down here. If there was an earthquake, you'd probably be worried. But we don't really get earthquakes very often down here.
No, I'm just concerned that when you're going up the stairs, I mean the step ladders, and then you shift one way or the other. And
it is. Look, I will mention that to him actually because a lot of people did comment about that.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that didn't look safe. But unless you maybe you could bolt it down or something. But
yeah, it's probably a better idea. But then it'd be hard to move it again if you ever move it.
Yeah. Maybe C-clamps. Just C-clamps.
Mark's pretty handy. He can do all that stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, the main things in my life I'd say is moving into the new place with Sarah, and Mark moving into a new place as well. So,
Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, we wish the shop, luck, and I know it's been hard. I think we're seeing closures here locally as well here in Seattle. I think the comic book industry, or I should say the comic book business, has hit sort of a lull, I guess. It's not as active as it was maybe a year ago, but it's kind of
I know what
you're seeing that.
In Australia, I mean, from your channel, I've seen 2 stores close. Even yourself, you seem to have like do away with the pull list.
Yeah, it's funny I say that, but then I keep. So I used to do so every week on Wednesday. I used to do my weekly comic haul, and that was like my weekly video. And then I got to a point where I just wasn't getting as much books. But I would say since I stopped doing that show, I've been getting a lot of books.
You used to go back to getting books again.
And I didn't read for over 2 months. Like while I was moving house, I didn't read anything. And even the first month being here, I didn't read anything. So I've only just started reading in the last sort of probably week again, which is good. But I need to get to the point, I think, where I just realize I don't need this stuff because it's definitely consumed my life. And now I'm really into like the action figures. So it's always one thing or another. So being into comic books and toys, it's expensive. And I'm definitely getting to a point when I moved house, I definitely realized now that I need to let go of some of my stuff.
So are you gonna let go more of the comics or the toys?
Looks like the comics.
Well, I've got it. So ever since I started YouTube, one of the cool things is a lot of people just give you stuff, right? So a lot of, especially when I started, a lot of friends just say, "Hey, I've got all this stuff. You know, I used to be into comics, or I used to be into toy. Do you want them? I don't want them anymore." I was like, "Yeah, cool. I'll take them off your hands," and I would just hoard them.
Wow.
But now I'm like, "Oh, well, I don't have room for this stuff, so now I'm going to make money off them." So I'm selling a bunch of that stuff. I would love to downsize my comic book collection, just because I never want to give up the hobby because it means so much to me. Like when I started YouTube, it took me around 8-9 months before I discovered the YouTube comic book community. So on the first 8-9 months, I was just on my own. Whoever was watching was mostly, you know, a few of my friends and randoms that might stumble across it. But once I found the community, that's where my channel started to obviously get a lot of support. And without it, I still think my channel would be tiny, you know. So I never want to stop. Like this comic book thing is like,
yeah, it's the foundation.
Yeah, exactly. And it means so much to me. So many people have sent me like, you know, crazy AOKs and stuff like that, and I would never sell that stuff. Like anything that someone's given me out of the kindness, other than like something like, buddy, I don't know if you guys saw that video where Steve Whiting sent me. He organized a few people to chuck in, but he got me the Planet Comics Dave Stevens book. Because he messaged me and goes, "Hey man, I'll get you that." No, actually, it started with the, you know, the Superman versus Muhammad Ali Treasury book.
Ooh.
Oh, you got that?
Started with. I
Nice
mentioned it on with Super Russ. I used to stream with Super Russ. I mentioned that I would like that book, but it's just too expensive. So he hit me up, and he's like, "Hey man, I'll get you a copy of that book." I was like, "Oh, only if it's cheap, man. Like I'm probably willing to pay this much." He goes, "Don't worry, man. I've got connections. I'll get it at a good price." Is there anything else you're after? And I was like, "Well, if you can find a Planet Comics one at a good price, you know, let me know about that too, because I'd be interested in buying that. But again, I could probably only pay so much." So next thing you know, he's like, "Hey man, what's your address, man? I've got those books for you." I was like, "What?"
Nice.
And I was like, "What do you want?" He's like, "No, man, just give me your address." So he organized with a bunch of people from the community, like, actually, you know what? I'm not going to name because I'll probably forget some. But and they sent me those 2 books plus a couple of other. Like he hit up Super Rush. He's like, "Hey, what other books does Simon want?" He got me a First Punchline, which I was after. This Wonder Woman 200, like a classic bondage cover that I was after.
Whoa.
And I just freaked out, you know, like those kind of moments. I was like, I just can't believe how kind people are.
That's an awesome.
I got a package sitting here that arrived yesterday from the Grey Man. Oh, you'll know about this now, man, because you watch my videos a lot. I've been after the Warriors video game for a while.
Yeah. I was a little pissed about that.
What do you mean?
Because I'm a Warrior fan too, and the Great Man give it to you, and not me.
You know what, it seems like if you talk about it in your videos, your friends will come help you out. So
I'm talking about my video. I mean, Jesus, man.
I mentioned a lot in my videos. I was always after the Warriors video game, but I couldn't find it at a good price. The Grey Man messaged me, and he was like, "Hey man, is this the game you're after?" And I was like, "Yeah. Do you have the instruction booklet as well? Because I don't want it if you don't have the instruction booklet." Like the disc was brand new, and he goes,
Wow.
he goes, "How about we just do a trade? I'll send you that with some comic books, and you can send me some books." I was, "Yep, that's perfect."
Wow.
So, yes. Well, no, man, you could pick that thing up for like $10 over there.
I don't know that. It's hard to find those songs. It's not the price; it's hard to find.
Yeah, no, but like, do you buy stuff off eBay?
Yeah, is it on eBay?
Young lives on eBay.
Yeah, exactly. Like I looked it up on eBay, so I didn't.
I can't.
You can get a copy for like $20-$25 sometimes, right? But they're hard, like those ones sell really quick. There was someone selling it for a lot of people will sell from $50 to $80 here. There was one guy selling it for $25, but the thing is, he didn't have pictures of the actual game. He had like the proper photos,
Right? Yeah.
not an actual photo of the product. So I didn't trust it.
Yeah, you got to be wary of that.
I never want to pay more than 30, 40 at the most. But if I found it in the wild, I would have paid up to 40 for it. But on eBay.
So yeah, I didn't realize you collected video games though. So you collect video games as well.
No, I don't collect video games. I just collect stuff. So as you can see, my Warriors shelf here, I've got the VHS tape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't collect I wouldn't say I collect VHS tape, but if it's something like a VHS, something I want to get is the Bruce Lee box set they did, like all 5 movies and the spine connection to make.
I have that.
I want to
have
get that. Like, that's a
Yeah.
cool thing just to have as a display piece. I'm really into collecting aliens stuff now. So I recently picked up a copy of the Aliens on VHS.
Yeah.
Just as a display piece to display with your stuff, you know. So
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, so I know you have a hard stop. What time are you supposed to get out of here?
yeah. So look, I can probably go for about another half. Like I was going to do about just because I'm doing a vlog today, so I got to go to a toy shop, but they close early, so I've just got to get there before they close.
Gotcha.
So I
Okay.
can probably hang out for about another half hour.
Another half hour. All right, that's plenty of time. So, yeah, we've been watching your videos, and you've gained some you've gained some fame from your channel. I think particularly when you go to the cons and you do all the interviews, I really love that part of your channel because you get a really good look at some of the local events there, and you do great interviews with the people that are there, and talk more about how that idea and that show, that content came about, and whether you plan to do more of that moving forward.
Yeah, definitely planning to do more because it's kind of like my bread and butter. Like I said, it's kind of the big cons is where I interview cosplayers. Smaller events, I just do vlogs where I go there. But when I go to a big convention, I like to interview the cosplayers. It was just something I think like when I first started YouTube and I started watching sort of more pop culture related content, there was a channel I followed and the guy would just go to conventions and interview cosplayers. And the difference with him was he would like pretty much exclusively interview half naked babes. I didn't want to, I mean, as fun as that would be, I didn't want to, I want to include everyone, you know what I mean? So, but it was just something I kind of wanted to do. So the first one I did was actually an anime festival that we used to have here called Mad Fest. And a friend of mine said to me, I'll help you film. I was like, okay, cool. And the first one was terrible. I actually originally I used to cosplay because I felt like I had to be involved.
Right.
So I did some terrible cosplays, but I cosplayed as All Might from My Hero Academia. I went to this anime festival and I was so nervous asking people, hey, can I interview you? So now it's a little bit easier because now I'll ask people and they say yes. And then I say, oh, I'm Simon. They're like, yeah, I'll watch your videos. Like, oh, cool. You know me. That's all good. But back then it was just like some random guy coming up and asking you. And I didn't have a microphone back then or anything. We just kind of shot the video with the shotgun mic. So the audio was really bad because we were kind of like, 2-3 meters away from the camera and all that. And then a friend of mine who used to play in a band with me, he's a sound engineer. So he works on television shows and ads, and he's the guy who holds the boom mic and he adds the audio and stuff like that. So he watched that video, I think, and he said, hey, man, I've got something you can borrow, which will probably help you with the videos. So he lent me a wireless transmitter and receiver, a Rode one. So you can plug into the camera and then plug it into a microphone, and that's how I got. So this is the microphone I used. And then my friend Tony, who's the cameraman, he was like, give me the microphone. I'll make you the little box, like the little microphone box.
Yeah.
So he made that for me. And next thing you know, we're going to all the shows and interviewing people. And the first few would just not get a lot of views, but they kind of built up over time. So, they get, 2-3 views a day or whatever. And that just built up. And then the more I went to, the more people saw them. And I've been doing it now for, I don't know, 4 more years. So,
yeah.
But yeah, definitely that.
You got to come out to the States and do one, like San Diego or something.
People are starting to say in the comments, are you going to come up to Brisbane? Are you going to come to Sydney? And I'm like, that's the dream, but unless you want to pay for my ticket to go over there, because I usually can get a media pass to most events now. So getting into the event normally is not too bad, but it's more like traveling is. But yeah, my dream would be to go to an American con and do that, like at a San Diego Comic Con or New York, whatever it is. That would be the dream, and maybe one day, but we'll see. I'm getting old.
One day.
Simon,
I
know you are familiar with the cons that you've been going to. And let's say you go to even bigger con to different city where you are you're not the local, interviewer there. You think you'll go back to being nervous again? Or you think?
I'm still nervous today. Like whenever we start out. So what I do now is I used to go to both days, like the whole weekend, and I'd spend the entire day doing videos. Now what I do is we get there and I say to my team, hey, let's just get the interviews out of the way. So we spend the first maybe 3 hours trying to interview people. And then I'm like, all right, let's just wrap it. I'll always say, hey, let's do 8-9 interviews today. And that's it. I used to do the whole weekend. So I would have the interview video part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the views just kept dropping off as they kept going. So I was like, just do one video. And yeah, I try to knock it out first thing, and then I can try to actually enjoy the event. Because Sarah wants to enjoy the event. She's not into all the video stuff. So she kind of doesn't love that I'm always focused on the video. But I said in my last one, because I do the vlog as well. So I do interview video and then I do a separate vlog of just going to the event. And I was like, I haven't enjoyed one of these events for a while because I'm so video focused. Because yeah, it is the one thing that I feel like it's given me the biggest reach out of any of the content that I make. And like I said, people come up and they want to take photos of me. Like even though that's kind of a new thing for me, it's a good thing. It's
Yeah.
So,
and your videos are like you're talking about. This guy wants to just follow sexy cosplayers. Your video is very wholesome to me. So
yeah, like I have people come up sometimes, like the younger people, like kids and stuff. Oh, can you interview me? I was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. Like I'll never knock anyone back. I've been knocked back. I get knocked back a lot. Not a lot, but I've interviewed. There was this girl once. She was. It was the first time I'd ever seen anyone cosplay Punchline, and I was like, I need to interview her. So I like ran over to her and was like, oh, excuse me, can I interview you? And she looked fantastic. And all of a sudden she was like, oh, sorry, I'm not very good in front of. Like she was super shot. Like incredible to see cosplayers who are so out there, right, with their costumes, but they're actually so shy and quiet from the camera. Like it's okay to take a photo with them. They're okay with that. But yeah, if I ask them for an interview, some people have gotten really in their shell, like, oh, I don't like being in front of camera and stuff. It's like, okay, that's fine. So other people are just like, no. Like, so there's this one guy, right? He's dressed up as Shazam, and he kind of just looking at me and goes, no. It's like, okay, cool. And he actually knows he's part of this cosplay group, and I'm actually friends with one of the guys, and I interview this other dude all the time. And he sees me talking to him all the time, and I just ignore this dude. And I was like, yeah, you never get an interview, mate. First impressions count. I hate missing an event. So we missed PAX last year because I feel like every time I miss a big convention, I've lost out on, because my channel subscribers grow very, very slowly, but then I have bursts. So when I do a convention, I'll get a burst.
Yeah.
And if I do like a big event, I get a little bit of a jump. Other than that, you get a sub here and there every now and then, so.
At your cons, you get a lot of artists. You get a lot of artists over there too.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of international. Actually, Art Jam's coming down to Sydney, so he didn't do Melbourne.
Ooh.
He's going to be doing Sydney. This is how cool Art Jam is.
You got to go for that.
Many years ago, this is probably early on when I was probably only 1 year deep into comic books. Art Jam was in Melbourne, and he walked past one of our stores in the city called All Star Comics. He dropped in and just randomly said, hey, what's going on? I'm Art Jam. Do you guys want to do a signing? So they announced it on the day, and it said, Art Jam just walked in and has offered to do a signing for the next 3 hours. Come down. And me and my friends, me and Tony, who's my camera guy, we're like, we're at work. we can't leave. I was so upset, man. Like, because it was a very short window. Even the time it would have taken to go home, get a book, and then travel to the city, we wouldn't have made it in time anyway. But that's how cool Art Jam is. He'll just do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, interviewing him would be like, that would just be amazing.
So here's the funny thing, right? So I do a lot of. I used to do a bit more interviews with artists and creators as well. I've kind of canned it from the convention videos because I feel like the cosplays is what's drawing the viewers. This is the weird thing I find about the comic book community, right? So I interview Tom Taylor a lot because, we have this ongoing gag that we're best friends, even though we're not. I interview him a lot because he's a pretty big name in the comic world, right? What I found is a lot of the comic book YouTubers that we know, they'll get an artist creator on who's a name that we all know, and it doesn't really draw views. I find that kind of odd.
Yeah. I mean, even we had a David Nakayama.
Yeah, Nakayama, John Boy Myers the other day.
Yeah.
I was spewing I couldn't get to that one because I was like, I just bought a signed book of his.
But you know what? Who gets eye on her? Who get a lot of eye from K-pop's channel, because that's what all she does. That's all she does. She does is promote other artists, and she goes to convention and invite the artists, and so she gets tons of views from there. And so,
I think because that's her focus. So
Yeah.
her whole channel is based on. So for people who are actually interested in that, that's a channel they're going to go to look at that content. But if you're doing other stuff, if you do comic books and you just show your comic books, talk about speculation or whatever, and you bring a creator on or an artist, no one cares. That's really weird.
It is weird. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It's weird because like I think even when you see like people doing con interviews with big names, those get quite a bit of views, but they're not like, if you look at mainstream celebrities doing like a small interview or something, those will get like hundreds of thousands of views, so it's just I think just a different maybe target audience or something that
it's funny. Some of the my Tom Taylor videos, some of them like they don't get a lot of views, but I started there was a certain point, like a little window in time where they just started getting hate comments because a lot of people don't like Tom Taylor. And I was just getting all this hate. Oh, this guy's the worst thing that happened to DC. He ruined Superman and all this stuff.
Really?
Because he was the writer that that wrote Jonathan Kent being bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people got mad. But I think the general population just think that he turned Superman gay. I don't think they even know. Like I think because he was on the news and everything like that in America. He was on the news, and they were saying, and the way they sort of announced the news was like, oh, Superman is now bisexual.
No. But yeah, I think all they get upset about is that he shouldn't be called Superboy or Superman. You know what I mean? That's all they get upset about. But I mean.
Yeah, again, it's a political thing, so. It's we're not going to get into that, but so all right. So you any upcoming cons that you're getting ready for them?
Up here we've got Oz Comic Con. So I'm waiting to hear back from them if I'm going to get a media pass from them. I usually do. We've got another one called MetroCon, which is they started last year for the first time. It was super quiet. But they responded to me straight away. I applied for the media pass, and they're like, "Oh, we loved your video from last year. We'll let you know when media passes are available." So, and they were really good. Like being a new convention, I think for vendors it wasn't great because the vendors were saying these guys were a ripoff. Like for a first-time con, they were charging top dollar for a table there. But when I showed up as like a content creator, I'm like, "Hey, I'm here to pick up my media pass." They're like, "Oh, cool. You just have to go into this room here." So we go into this room, and these people are like interrogating us. Oh, cool. So what's your intention for today? If you guys need anything, come let us know. If you need any snacks, food, I'm like, oh, this is different. Because all the other big cons, they just like give you here's your media pass. See you later.
Yeah.
So
the press.
Yeah, for Metro Comic Con, I'm surprised they're doing it again because last year was pretty small. So
I'm actually pretty surprised that you're getting so many cons. I mean, you seem to get pretty good sized cons over there.
Well, so I wouldn't call. So yes, I've been going to a lot of toy fairs. I wouldn't call them cons though.
Oh, okay.
I would call them toy fairs, comic fairs, and things like that. So
okay.
Well, a convention is like a bigger event where, because like those toy fairs and stuff, you're not really going to get cosplayers and stuff. I mean, you might get one or two, but the conventions are where cosplayers come to showcase their stuff. They have cosplay competitions and things like that. So.
Yeah, and that's I think what I appreciate about your content is like we get a window into sort of that how comic books and comic pop culture is like a global phenomenon. It's not just something that happens in the States, but it's happening around the world.
I use that as a leverage too. So when you apply for a media pass, it's basically asks you why you're applying for it and what benefits they have to give you one. And a lot of the times I'll say I have an international audience, so it'll spread, like, basically I have a worldwide audience, so it's gonna give more exposure to your event worldwide, not just here.
Yeah.
So that's always my angle anyway.
Nice. Okay, just real brief. I know you got to pop off soon, but one thing I've always wanted to know. Now it's AAPI Heritage Month here in the U.S.
Yes,
and apparently you don't have anything that's equivalent in Australia.
Not that I've really noticed, anyway. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there may have been some stuff. I wouldn't say it's a big thing here. Like I said to you guys backstage, I learnt about AAPI month from comic book variants.
Yeah.
That's how I know about it.
Well, take pride in the heritage. What is it like to be Asian Australian? Like, just walk us through, your thoughts about, I guess, what you've experienced as a minority. Well, not really minority. You got a fairly large Asian population there in Australia. So, just walk us through what it's like to, you grew up there, you've lived there your entire life. So what it's been like as an Asian identity in Australia.
So yes, there's definitely a lot of Asian communities here, and it's just getting more and more. It's getting out of control, you could say, in some suburbs. So there's definitely some suburbs here, and they're just, you go there, and it's Chinatown, pretty much, right? It's basically become an Asian suburb almost. There's definitely a lot of those. A lot of the more upper class areas too are definitely getting taken over. But look, I was saying to you guys earlier, times have changed now. Growing up was definitely different. I think, especially I grew up in the 80s and 90s, I guess you could say. And things were starting to get better then, but there was still a lot of racism. I would say when I went to an all-boys school, for about 2 years. Racism was hardcore at that school. And one thing about me is I think because of a lot of that, I always tried really hard to stay away from being a stereotypical Asian. I mean, you can probably tell. Me and my parents, like, I'm good with, them as I got older. But when I was young, so my mom, Sarah always gives me shit. She's like, your mom does everything for you. You're like a baby. Your mom does everything for you. I was like, yeah, but she didn't do anything for me when I was younger because I was a little shit. When I was a teenager, I did everything she hated. I was like a nightmare Asian child. I would listen to punk rock music. I'd be going out and doing drugs with my friends and things like that. So, I kind of did a lot of things so all my friends at school would be like, Simon's not Asian. He's Aussie, right? So, I had a lot of that growing up. And then it wasn't until I'd say maybe my mid-20s I started embracing my Asian side a lot more because my ex-partner at the time, I grew up in a Chinese restaurant. So my parents owned a Chinese restaurant when I was all the way up until I was 18. So that was kind of like the way I grew up. The little Asian kid you see running around the Asian restaurants? Yeah, that was me. So growing up, I never ever wanted to order Asian food. So just because I always ate it growing up. So
yeah.
Once I had my own money to buy food, I would never buy Asian food ever. I wasn't until I started seeing one of my ex-girlfriends. She was like, I want to eat this, I want to eat that. I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, Asian food's pretty cheap. Let's get this. So I started embracing Asian food more.
Sleeping with us, Slim moved to Australia.
He dyed his hair. Yeah. No, Slim was caught up. He did make an appearance though, which was good.
Yeah, he was at his work, so at hospital.
But yeah, even though I kind of always tried to stay away from being like your stereotypical Asian, as a young person, I did always root for the Asian guy though, because I felt that he was up here, he was up against the world. So I grew up playing tennis. Tennis was like my sport.
Michael Chang. Michael Chang
was like my hero. Right? So I think it was 1991 US Open. That was the first time I I started following tennis, and that was Michael Chang was in that event. I think he made it to the quarter or semifinals and lost to Stefan Edberg. But my dad was like, "Oh, you like Michael Chang? Cool." He had on videotape. He taped it off TV when he won the 1989 French Open. So I used to watch tennis videos all the time, and I got really into tennis.
Nice.
So that was my sport up until about 18, where I discovered drinking and stuff, and then I stopped playing tennis.
Nice. So yeah, we're learning so much about you, tennis player, sort of the rebellious teenager.
I bet your mother, when she's treating you well now, I bet she's catching up because you're pretty rebellious, and then you're embracing your heritage a little bit more. So she missed all that when you're young. So
me and my dad's passed away now, but like me and my parents have always had a kind of weird relationship. Like when I was growing up, I would never say I was close. I'm not close with my family. And this is weird. I'm glad it's not my channel I'm saying this, because my mom watches my channel now. But,
okay, that's good.
My mom was like ashamed of me when I was growing up. Even in my adulthood, she didn't like my hair. I stopped getting invited to family events. Not that there was a lot of them. Like, so with my mom's family, like so my aunties and uncles and cousins and all that. When I was younger, I used to go to those kind of things. And then it got to a point where I was only going to funerals. And even that, my mom was like, "You don't need to go." And I think it was because she didn't like the way I looked. So yeah, I was never really close with her up until, I would say, in my early 30s, so about 10 years ago, probably, when I broke up with my long-term partner. I mean, look, I still visited my parents, fairly regularly just to catch up sometimes for dinner. But once I broke up with my long-term partner, I would go there once a week, just to have dinner and chat. And I found I probably started talking to them more. So I always said I became closer with my parents when I moved out of home, because when I lived with them, I used to be a massive pothead, so I literally just used to smoke bongs in my room. And my relationship with my parents was them yelling, "Dinner's ready." I'd go get my dinner and go back into my room. So I didn't really talk to them a lot when I was actually growing up with them. It wasn't until I became an adult that
this is This is a pretty good topic because in the United States, at least, tomorrow is it day after tomorrow? Is Mother's Day. You guys have that over there in
Yes, we have Mother's Day. I've got to work tomorrow, so I can't make it to my brothers are throwing
Mother's Day, everyone.
Me and Sarah went and saw my mom on Wednesday for Mother's Day because I can't make it this weekend. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, spend some time with your mom, and I know you got to pop off now, so let's just focus on what's coming up on the channel.
What have I got? Again, I'm doing a lot of vlogs. So each week, so I used to do my weekly haul every Wednesday. So when I stopped doing that, yeah, I know. What happened, Bob? I'm Simple Slim Shady. Someone didn't show up, so guess who got the guest spot?
That's only
I like to know that I was second best.
Well, so we wanted to get Simon on, and we reached out to him, but he had some conflicts later in the month, so we just kind of it just was an opportune thing where he was able to fill in, and so now
I was co-hosting today.
Yeah,
I was super pumped that I could co-host with Slim because I love Slim. Like I said, I've been following Slim for years now. It would have been cool to hang out, but I'll take the spotlight instead. So
and you will close to us in the future too, right? Within May, maybe.
Sorry,
you say you will co-host with us in May sometime too. I mean,
at the end of the month. At the end, as long as I'm not working, then I can jump on from time to time. Yeah, I think you said on the final one that you're doing, I'm going to be working. But if you guys are doing a late one, then I might be able to come after work, maybe.
Yeah, so because we're going to be giving a lot of stuff away that day, from the artists.
Might tune in from work.
And if normally the panel don't get to have entry, but because you're in Australia, and if you come up, you'll be able to enter entry. How's that?
Well, if I'm at work, I won't be on the panel, so I'll just be in the chat trying to win those prizes.
Simon gets an entry no matter what. So, all right, Simon. Well, yeah, thank you for your time today, and just again, you were supposed to be co-host, but Slim had work issues, so we're going to try to get Slim on tomorrow night. And
not tomorrow night. We got Eman tomorrow night, so.
Yeah, I mean, we can have him like maybe co-host or something.
Yeah, he could co-host. Yeah, he could co-host.
Make sure you change the thumbnail to this.
Yeah,
page.
We will.
You gotta send me a good picture. You gotta send me a picture that outshines Slim's picture. If it doesn't, I don't know.
Well, why don't I just send you a photo of just my head, and then you can just stick that on top of Slim's.
Okay.
But yeah, we love your channel and keep up the good work, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks, Slim, for not being here today.
Thanks, Chad, for coming by today. Sorry for the main guest isn't here, but we have somebody just as good. So
yeah.
So appreciate it, everybody. Hey, before we go, Otaku, you got anything coming, or you just concentrate on?
This is all I have going right now. The API.
API. That's all we're concentrating on, guys. API. So tomorrow, Eman's coming. And what's the next artist coming? Big name artist coming next one.
Yeah, our next big artist is going to be. I have to look at the schedule. I have no idea.
I cannot pronounce his name. I don't want to mess it up online like this, but.
Well, next Friday is Pornsec Pishit Show. So
Chang is the day before him. So
Bernard Chang is before him.
No. It's Lipwei.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Simon, can you pronounce that? Lipwei.
Lipwei.
Lipwe. Lipwei.
Lipwei. Okay, Lipwei Chang. Is that Chinese name?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Chang sounds like a Chinese name.
Yeah, Chang sounds like Chinese name, but that Chang could be Korean too. By the way, Chang is Korean name, but I don't know about Lipwei. So anyway, we'll have that again. Thanks, chat room. Let's say goodbye in the backstage, Simon. So, bye bye.